I know. Give us an advice, and maybe tonight we'll laugh and sing around Tybee's call. You can see the sea. Stand real tall, yes we know.
Today I went to the river. It was so much fun. I went with all my best friends. We swam, we went fishing, and we told some jokes. But I came back now for the book of the day. Oh, that must be it. Speedy delivery. Thank you. Ooh, look at this book we got. Danny the Diamondback Terrapin. In the muddy marsh on Tybee Island lived a little green diamondback terrapin. His name was Danny, and he loved to swim in the fresh waters. He also loved to eat clams, crabs, and worms. He was a big boy. He was 26 years old. One day, Danny found a friend. It was a human, but Danny was not scared. It was a little girl, and her name was Anna. Anna would always bring some snails for him every day. She took great care of Danny because she cared about him, as if he was her own pet. Anna really wanted to bring Danny home, but she couldn't because her parents didn't let her. She was so sad, so she would sit with Danny in the evenings and watch the sunset. One day, Anna had school, and she could not come to Danny because she had so much work. So Danny was very sad and thought she didn't care about him anymore. The next day, Anna came to the marsh, but she couldn't find Danny, so she yelled his name. Danny came out of his house and looked surprised. Then Anna came up to him and gave him a little hug. Danny and Anna were so happy to have each other like they were best friends. They were like two peas in a pod. So they would always help each other. One day, a strange guy came and started fishing and catching crabs. And Anna saw him and said, "It's illegal to fish here." But the guy didn't care, so he just kept fishing. After the guy caught some fish, he went back home. Then Anna had an idea. Anna started on her idea. She needed a poster and some markers. Anna was making a sign to put next to the marsh. Then after dinner, she finished her project and went to sleep. The next day, Anna went to school, but then she forgot to put the sign up. So when she got back home, she went to get the sign and put it up in the marsh. But when she got to the marsh, she saw Danny tangled up in a big net, and he was floating on the top of the water. Anna rushed to help untangle him. After 5 minutes, Anna got him out of the net. Then Anna put the sign up and then checked if Danny was okay. Then Anna put Danny down and he went into his little house. The end. That was a really nice book. My friends at the Tybee Post Theater are putting on a play about pollution. It's about to start. Let's go.
The breeze is so nice for a fly today.
Hey, you there.
Huh? Oh, hi. How can I help you?
There's a lot of trash in the ocean from humans.
Gosh, there's a lot on the beach, too.
Yeah, so can you help me?
I mean, there's not much I can do. There's a lot, but maybe we can find some more people to help us.
I couldn't help but overhear. And can I help too? No humans are coming to the beach because of the trash.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of problems with this trash. It canceled my talent show too. That was the first time I was gonna sing in public.
What's your name? I'm Reba the Red Knot.
Simon the Great White. Danny the Terrapin Turtle.
And Julie the Jellyfish.
You said it canceled your last talent show, right?
Yeah, kinda happy. I was nervous, but hey, more time to practice?
How high can you sing?
Like Shelley the Sanderling high?
Let's hear it. We'll be your first crowd.
Um,
You okay?
That's a big ask. Let her think for a second.
I guess so. On the beach, late at night, swimming under moonlight. Trash comes up on the beach, ruining the night.
Keep going.
And
It's clearing the trash from the ocean to the
Oh,
shore.
save me, the trash is getting crazy. I can't do this for the rest of my life.
Oh my, was that you?
Maybe.
I may have been listening in, but I have a plan to help you. I'm Sarah.
What is it?
What if Simon helps get some of the trash with Julie out of the ocean onto the beach shore while Julie sings? Me, Reba, and Danny will clear the beach and dunes.
That's brilliant. We got this. Let's go, Julie.
Okay, let's start. Reba, try clearing the dunes first, and you, Danny, help me with whatever Simon and Julie bring onto the beach. This will take a while.
This looks so good.
A lot better. Thanks, guys. I feel good enough for my talent show.
Okay, guys, let's go clean.
Okay.
This looks so much better.
A lot better.
Thanks, guys. I feel good enough for my talent show.
Good job, guys. Thanks for letting me help.
No, thank you. I feel confident about my show, and I feel like I can even make songs. From now on, call me Julie the Great.
Got it. But really, Sarah, thank you. Without your help, we would have never thought of that idea.
I just love the beach, and I'll do anything to help. Now I can draw on the beach on the pier with no trash.
That was a really interesting play. It really shows you how much pollution affects animals and humans. Oh, look! 2 more stories. I love the daily newspaper. Julie the Jelly and Simon and the Ocean Cleanup. Let's read Julie the Jelly first. Once upon a time, there lived a shiny pink jelly with a great talent. Her name was Julie. Her gift was her beautiful voice. Julie practiced singing to all of her baby jellyfish siblings. Though Julie was good at singing, she never wanted to sing in public. Her parents tried to convince her that she had a wonderful voice, so it should be enjoyed by other people, but she was too afraid. The reason was because when Julie was little, she participated in the Under the Sea talent show. She was excited to share her gift with other people. She had practiced this song all week long. Julie liked to sing about other animals in the sea and how they are important. So she began. A sailor went to sea, and what did he see? A whale as big as a dinosaur. Wow, the ocean floor is moving. Look at the jellyfish. Jellyfish are 90% water. Now I can see the red claw crawling up on me. Clan shows giving in the deep blue sea. Clap, clap, I hear some clans opening. These are the amazing things that live in the sea. Everyone loved her, but suddenly she started to feel a little achy, but she kept on singing. I wish I had that talent. Wow. Go, Julie. Great job. She's so good. Then, without notice, she barfed on the stage. Everyone was laughing. She felt humiliated. I'm so sad. Look at Julie. Ha ha ha. I kind of feel bad. Ha. So she decided she would never sing in public again. Never again. We're sorry, Julie. We didn't mean that to hurt your feelings. Two years later, she woke up and the whole ocean floor was covered in plastic. They didn't know what to do. Her mother was trying to research how to get rid of all of the plastic. Nobody knew what to do. Julie was trying to do her best to move all the plastic, but it was out of her power. Everyone began pushing the plastic out of their habitats, but it just wouldn't budge. No matter what they did, the plastic just kept on coming back and back. Until finally, after moments of researching, her mom found something. Julie can do it. She read that you can stop the plastic by singing it away. There was only one person who she knew could complete the task. That sea animal was Julie. She disagreed because she was afraid of what might happen. No, I'm too scared. Though she knew what had to be done, so she began. Plastic that breaks down into microplastic that damages marine life and kills animals that pollutes our ocean, or populates our oceans. Then finally the plastic was gone. Julie was their hero. After that, Julie started to participate in all of the under of the sea talent shows. Also managed to win first place at everyone. Julie saved marine life, and you can too, with just a little encouragement. The end. That was a really good book. There's another book that talks about pollution too. Simon and the Ocean Cleanup. Simon was not your typical great white shark. Simon loved his home and all of his friends. He was friends with animals from clownfish to whales and octopuses to minnows. One hot sunny day, Simon was enjoying the sunshine on the waves when he saw something floating on the surface. He nudged it with his nose, but it wasn't a jellyfish or seaweed. It was a bag. And then he saw cans in the sand and at the bottom. There's so much trash. I almost died, Terry the turtle said. My head got stuck in the net when I was eating. How did you get out? Simon asked. Okie, she said. She used all 8 of her arms to get me out of that net, Terry cried. Simon looked around at all the trash. Simon knew that they had to clean this up, but how? He called a meeting with all the sea creatures near Tybee Island, including the seagull from SPS, Sea Protection Services. He knew they could see more from above. Meeting! We have to do something, Simon said. Our home is filled with trash. I almost died in the net, cried Terry. I have to clean bottle caps out of my shell every day, said Crosby the crab. I tried to hide in my clam, Shelly, and it turned out to be a box. You can't hide in a box. It'll go away, Okie said. All the creatures agreed that they had to do something, so they came up with a plan. They would give the trash back to the humans. Simon and the dolphin pushed the big trash. The tinier fish would grab the smaller trash, and the seagulls got the stuff at the top. But what happened after that? SPS will take care of this, one very loud and very old seagull said. You have Captain Sully here, and my friends will whip these humans into shape. Oh, stop it. You are not a captain, and your name isn't even Stolly. Stephen, another small seagull said. I'm Sage, she said to Simon. We don't have ranks, but we do have human friends. We will let them know what the plan is, she said. They all worked and worked. Little by little, the ocean started to sparkle again. The water was clear and the shells twinkled in the sand, but the trash was growing on the beach. Simon watched as the SPS alerted the humans. Saga flew up and down, then back to Simon. They've got it, she said as she flew by with a plastic bag. A group of kids came on the beach and put a poster on a wooden pole announcing the beach cleanup. Beach cleanup, help the fish live in a better place. Simon and his friends watched as more and more people came to clean. Everyone was working really hard. After a while, the beach and the ocean looked much better. All the kids and adults were doing their jobs and not goofing off. After a few more hours, the beach was sparkling and the ocean is really clear. It was also safe for Terry to eat in peace. The end. Those are really good books. And talking about SPS, I have a friend who helps with pollution control. Let's go meet her.
Hi, I'm Piper,
And I'm Jackson.
and this is Sean Tall, Director of the Marine Science Center.
Is it okay if we ask you a few questions?
Absolutely, I would love them.
Can you go into more detail on your occupation?
I am the Executive Director at the Marine Science Center. I was previously our curator at the Science Center, and what I do at the Science Center is I help make sure all of our rescues and our strandings run smoothly. And I also make sure all of the staff are very happy and well paid. And then I have a budget to make sure that we're spending our money very wisely. And so lots of different things. I'm a biologist by trade, not an executive. And so that makes me love the field. Like recently I got to be offshore with right whales, and I got to see a right whale mom and calf pair. And so we love to be in the field as biologists, and so that is where we are most happy.
Okay. What impact does your job have on pollution?
So we teach about pollution every day. And so I would say the impact is awareness. I think you need to know about a topic before you can learn to change and take action on that topic. And so we are education based at the Science Center, and we fill in that awareness piece. So you have to know about it to care about it to be able to change it.
Does your job produce any pollution or waste?
Ooh, we don't. We do really well at the Science Center because we're all, big green science nerds, which is a good thing, right? So we recycle at the Science Center. We even are participating in a recycling program with the city of Tybee. And if you saw the solar panels, we're using the solar panels to offset the energy it takes to run the tanks. So we don't want to be taking more energy than a household. And that's actually one of our cheapest bills, the power bill, which is surprising because don't you see a lot of lights in there and a lot of bubblers and a lot of heaters? So those cost a lot of energy, but because we have the solar panels, those really help offset our use. So I would say that we're very ecologically responsible at the Science Center.
How do you manage all the power? Because I could imagine all the lights in the tanks have power cords that need to be plugged in somewhere. How do you manage all that?
So when I moved to the Science Center and when we all moved here in 2020, I was the curator. And so I had the privilege to make sure that we were really ecologically sound. And so I didn't want us to waste a lot of energy. So I bought something called the Apex system. And if you look underneath the tanks, it's a power cord in orange. And that allows us to run all of our electricity off of an app. And that then allows me to be able to shut it down, put it on timers so that nothing is constantly running. And so sometimes if you have the light on and the tank gets too hot inside, it'll turn the light off because it doesn't need an extra heat source. And so the power strip with the Apex helps allow the tanks to not waste energy. So it's only using exactly what it needs to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How often do you get an animal that has ingested any type of waste?
Definitely. So I have seen less ingested and more externally. So at the Science Center, we do bird rescue, we do sea turtle rescue, and marine mammal rescue. So I have worked cases with a dolphin that was wrapped up in a crab trap. So that is a human-made object, right? In nature, in their habitat. And so it was wrapped around his tail. Another case was a green sea turtle eating off the dock by Captain Derrick's, and he had a little bit of rope entangled around him. And then we've had many cases of birds entangled in fishing line. And so all of those cases are human impacted. So our goal whenever we have those cases, it's like CSI dolphin or CSI sea turtle. And it's our job for the state to determine the cause of death. In these cases, they were all alive and we were allowed to disentangle them. But if we can document that humans were the cause of them getting stranded or entangled, then that is our goal, because those kind of documented cases can really change laws and policy.
Okay. What is microplastic and what impacts does it have on the effectiveness to remove such plastic from the ocean?
So microplastics are a really big topic right now. And what microplastics are is we all know a plastic bottle, right? Plastic is made out of oil. which is a bunch of hydrocarbons connected. And we all know that oil doesn't like water, right? So when it's in the marine environment, in the ocean, it doesn't really break apart very well. But what we do find over time is that it changes shape and changes form. And so we have a lot of filaments of plastic. Even our washing machine, when it's churning, it can break off little pieces of fiber from our clothes. Even some of our clothes aren't always cotton and they're plastic. So those filaments can look like little pieces of hair in the environment. So we have plastics that are broken down to a smaller form called microplastics, and those are in the environment. And that is bad because plastic was just created, not too long ago in the 50s. And so it's new in the environment and it's not supposed to be there. So it's a foreign object. We have a lot of animals in the Science Center who are filter feeders. And so they bring water in their body and then they push it out their body with 2 straws, right? So they drink the water to try to find plankton. But unfortunately, there's also a lot of microplastics in the water. So we're finding that they're ingesting a lot of these plastics. It is even a worry that you and I are ingesting microplastics. And so it's a new foreign object in our environment, and it's not breaking down easily enough to disappear or decompose.
How would you remove microplastics? Because it's like it would be too small to like get in like a net or something.
You're really right. And so that's the big problem right now and the big question that scientists are looking at. We need to find something small enough, a sieve that has a sieve that has small enough holes that it can capture the plastic without taking out all the plankton, right? Because plankton are sometimes the same size as these animals, but all the animals need the plankton as food. So I think that's the number one topic we're talking about with microplastics is how we can remove them without hurting the wildlife that's already microscopic in the ocean. So that's not yet been answered, but we have a lot of really cool scientists. I met one this weekend from Savannah State. Miss Nia is trying to work on helping get this out of our environment. So stay tuned, and maybe your guys' generation is going to figure it out. That's how it works. Science keeps going every generation, and we share our secrets so that the next generation can figure it out.
Interesting. How are oysters affected by microplastics?
Oh my gosh. So remember when I was just talking about filter feeding? So oysters are so awesome in that you can put a tank that's really dirty with murky marsh water, right? And not dirty. It's got a lot of sediment and a lot of plankton, but it'll look brown or green like our water. And if you put a cluster of oysters in, they'll filter feed all of that out. They have an in-current siphon and an ex-current siphon, 2 straws. They bring the water in this one and they spit it out this one. And that allows them to filter the water and eat it. And so they are eating all the plankton, they're filtering out the sediment, and by the end of the day, that tank would be crystal clear. So
we did a similar experiment in 5th grade where we got 2 containers of like filthy marsh water and put a cluster of oysters in there and took a picture of them like every 30 minutes.
And did it work?
Yes, it works.
Yes, they're incredible filter feeders. They're the filters of our salt marsh, and so they're highly important. And so how it could affect them is those microplastics are something that they're ingesting.
So if we were to have more oysters in our water to combat like the murky like mud stirring up, would there be any chance that our water could be clear one day?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's some clear water that looks dirty or murky that is actually good murky. So we call our green water a planktonic soup. We want plankton. But if you look at a picture of Bermuda and the water's crystal clear, there's not a lot of plankton, there's not a lot of food. But you are right, and that might be our fix to some of our microplastics pollution. That would be a cool experiment.
So having like perfect, clear, pretty water isn't always a good thing?
You're right. And so most people think we want clear water because it's easier to see and swim in. But if you're a sea squirt, and you love plankton, or if you're a whale that loves plankton, you're going to like that planktonic soup. And so it is important. And the sediment is just coming from our rivers. So that's just mud. Our rivers start in the mountains, so it carries a lot of sediment from those mountains. So that can kind of settle after time. And so that's one murky that is not perceived as good per se, but it's not bad either. So murky isn't always bad, but dirty is, microplastics is. And so maybe that's a cool experiment, but I think what we're doing is a lot of oyster restoration, and that is building more oyster reefs so that we can have more filter feeders in the marsh.
What would you say is the part of your job that like really gets you up in the morning, gets you excited?
Oh my gosh. So you guys, definitely. So I'm a scientist, but I'm also an educator, and I'm very much both of those humans. So I love the big cases like getting to dissect a whale. That was a wonderful honor last year. We had a right whale that got hit by a boat, and it was a very important case so that we could prove that a boat did it, right? And we want to change the laws so that the boats stop hitting the whales. But it is my passion to share that with the next generation. And so both kiddos and the next generation and this hardcore science. So both get me up in the morning and excite me and make me do what I do. And so I'm equally a scientist as I am an educator.
Interesting. So let's say somebody came in from like somewhere else, they've never been here before. What would be the first thing you would tell them or show them?
Oh my gosh, I brag about coastal Georgia. So I've lived a lot of places in the United States, California, Washington, D.C., and all at Florida. All of these places, everyone knows that they're really cool for marine biology. But I love to tell people about how cool coastal Georgia is, and our salt marsh, and how important of a nursery it is, how important of a filter feeder it is. And so I love to talk about coastal Georgia, and then next, right whales, and then third, plankton. Those are my three favorite things.
How can we reduce the amount of pollution dumped into the environment?
So I think all of us realizing that we make an impact, right? Sometimes we think if I throw this bottle out the door, out my window, that one bottle is not going to change anything. But if everyone thinks like this, then we're going to have a lot of pollution, right? So if we flip that and we all realize how much one individual impacts the entire ecosystem, then I think that's when we'll realize that we need to change. And so I think you guys are doing it. So you're spreading awareness with this project, just like we're teaching and spreading awareness at the Science Center. So that's step one. We've got to tell everyone about it. And then care and know that we are part of that ecosystem. We're also the apex predator in our ecosystem, right? We have these big brains that some of the other animals don't have. Dolphins do have big brains, but they can't talk like us, right? They can't share information as well. So I think awareness is a really important thing. And then your own personal recycling and your own personal habits, and realizing that that can change the ecosystem and keep it out of the environment so these guys aren't running into it. And also that really kind of helps be a good example for others. So when you're a helpful human, another human sees you and they want to be like you, right? And so I think we can lead by example.
Is there any advice you would give somebody who wanted to work at the Marine Science Center?
Oh my gosh, be curious and stay curious. I think what I would say about scientists, there's a really good quote, and I think it was Einstein. We'll have to look it up, but it is that scientists are just kids that never lost their curiosity. So I would say at the Science Center, you have to be curious. You have to want to know what that animal's body looks like on the inside. You have to want to know if what you're teaching is going to help the next generation. And so I think passion and curiosity are two really big drivers for our individuals at the Science Center. We care a lot, and that is our passion. We care about the animals and the environment so much that we want to tell everyone about the good stuff and the bad stuff. And so We stay curious because whenever we find a new animal that we've never seen before, you should see all of us and how excited we get. We do a dock lab here where we take off the animals that are underneath the docks, and sometimes we'll find a new crab or a new nudibranch that we've never seen, and you should see how giddy we all get, and we put it underneath the microscope. And so we're very excited about the animals in nature and discovering them and IDing them, and I think that curiosity is what drives us.
Out of all the things you've tried, what is the most effective way you've tried to reduce pollution?
Ooh, so pollution is a huge problem, and it's going to take a lot of teamwork to change it. So in our mission statement at the Science Center, we say that we create stewards. We create humans that care about coastal Georgia through education, conservation, and research. So I would say the education, so the awareness and the teaching is definitely a huge tool that I use. And then the conservation. So we love to teach, or we love to have the cases of the sea turtle who's stranded, or the whale that maybe has ingested plastic, and use those cases to document those for the state. So that is our take action, to teach the next generation and to prove that pollution is affecting our animals.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. I had a lot of fun.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Reba the red knot. Reba is a red knot, and she migrates to the Arctic breeding grounds every year. Reba loves to stop at Tybee along the way. But this year was different. There was no horseshoe crabs. As Reba looked around, she saw trash everywhere. That's probably why there's no horseshoe crabs. As Reba walked to the flock, she heard birds saying, "We need those horseshoe crab eggs to eat." "We should skip Tybee and eat when we get to the Arctic," said the flock leader. "But we'll die along the way if we don't eat here," said Reba. "Well, we only have 3 days. We will wait if you insist." Days and days go by, but still no horseshoe crabs. Reba said, "It's time to find help," as she flew across Tybee squawking. Then a girl saw Reba and followed her back to the beach. As the girl came to the beach, she saw a lot of trash and started to clean it up. After the trash was cleaned up, the horseshoe crabs came. The flock could now eat. As the flock ate, Reba went to thank the girl. Reba and her flock left that night. She knew Tybee was in good hands. The end. Those books were really good, what we read today. But I fear it's time to go. It's okay, friends. I'll be back soon. And we'll talk about other stuff. The day is still young. You can do a lot in a day. So,